Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who are teaching this truth with sincerity. And a shout out to Yakim that's out there on four corners of the earth proclaiming this truth. Bracha the Yahweh, Bracha the Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakadash, Bracha Ton. So, out here for another teaching about the downfall of America, Babylon the Great, and the downfall of Esau Edom. Donald Trump just did the State of the Union address, and so a lot of people had watched that. Me personally, I can't stand to listen to him talk, but what I can do is I can listen to other brothers break down what he said, which is what I'm going to do, because I can't stand Esau. I can't stand the way that he lies. You know, he gives a lot of false hope, kind of like Christianity gives everyone a false hope, those that are not Israelites, and those that are Israelites, that they're not Israelites. You see how that both works? You know, but you know, we're rejoicing because we actually have this gospel, and Esau should also rejoice because we're not giving him a false hope. Unlike Christianity, you know, we know who Yahweh and Yahushua is dealing with, and who he's talking to. He's not talking to the entire world. He's talking to his world, his people, the Israelites. That's who he's talking to, so this does not include everyone into salvation. That salvation is for Israelites only. And we're not giving that false hope out, you know. If you go back to being one of the people of the 12 tribes sign, or the Spirit resides in you and you're getting all this, that you go back to one of the people on the 12 tribes sign, whether, you know, you necessarily look like that, you know. You'll find out that you go back to being an Israelite, even though you may not look like one anymore because of the places that we've been scattered to. But most of all, Yahushai was talking to his elect, you know, when these messages were put out there. And pretty much, as swift messengers, that is the prophets, were to go out there and teach the things properly, to break it down properly, to where everything that makes sense. No, Satan was not cast out of heaven in the way that Esau tells you, you know, and that, you know, he just, you know, and that there's this hell where it burns forever. No, this forever burning is just a one-time event in 1 hour, as in the overthrow of Sodom and Gomorrah. In 1 hour, this place, Babylon the Great, will cease to be anymore. And those that are caught within it, that is the sinners, in order to be a sinner, you would have had to have been given the law. Well, one of the people on the sign that go back to being an Israelite were given the law. But the wicked are also going to be destroyed in this thing called the lake of fire, which is the warfare of Esau Edom, that is nuclear weapons, the weapons of his indignation, but also the fire from the chariots. Remember, it was 2 smaller chariots that destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah. But this destroying wind, you know, is by way of both the chariots and the nuclear missiles. Again, you know, on either side. So what are we saying? Well, what we're telling, you know, our people is to come out of Esau Edom, you know, come out from the ways of Esau, you know, stop worshiping in his churches, come back to our church, which is us out on the streets being gathered, you know, get yourself right, get yourself into this word, the word of Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahushai, repent of these things, all of them, you know, not just keeping the 10 commandments, but try to keep all of them to the best of your abilities, but you have to know what they are first. The Christian church ain't going to tell you what they are because they'll tell you it's okay to eat pork. And pork is an abominable food, just like all the rest of the foods are, because that's always been Esau's trick, is to get everybody to eat pork so that way we would lose our heritage, because the Most High doesn't deal with those that are outside the temple. And that's why the temple was defiled. Esau pretty much polluted the temple. But then what's happened now that we're coming back into this truth, the 12 tribes are coming back together. There's no more gaps between the 12 tribes. You know, he's going to try one last time. And so I'm going to read out of that because, you know, first of all, you know, you got to know who the dragon is, which is another term of the Roman Empire. Revelation chapter 12 and verse 9. And the great dragon was cast out, the old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. Meaning that, you know, when he came back into power, mostly but also pretty much, he had a short time to deceive the nations, with the Christianity, when he came out of the Renaissance era. There was a specific word for it, but during the Renaissance era, he had changed everything, and put in his images, changed our images and put his in there, so he's allowed to deceive. And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now has come salvation and strength and the kingdom of our power and the power of our Hamashiach, for the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accuseth them before our power day and night. So what's that talking about? Well, pretty much that what's happening is once we come back to law, statutes, and commandments, and we are glorified with Yahweh Shai, then we have overcome. And they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb, that is the sacrifice that Yahweh Shai had done for us, so we, the elect, could receive him in this time. And by the word of their testimony, and they loved not their lives unto the death. So pretty much, we came out of the lifestyle that we were taught, out of all the ways that we were taught, and we despised the old lives that we had. We stopped eating pork. We stopped celebrating all these wicked festivities. We stopped believing in all these falsehoods, because that's what this place is it's a farce from what it says that it is. There was no such thing as freedom here, because if you're enslaved, you ain't free. And this debt money system is just another bondage, which is why he wants to roll out the mark of the beast, the RFID implant, so that way you're a slave to the money system, because money is their God. On the dollar bill, it says, in God we trust. Their God is money. And so you become a servant of that forever once you take that implant. And not to mention, if you hadn't seen that recent movie, Replicas, I highly recommend it, because it shows you that pretty much, they control everything, You're just a clone of what they want, in which all you were was a death certificate. That's why you were given a social security number to begin with. You're a cash flow. Money is their God. So therefore, when you're going to those churches, you're going and worshiping the God of money. That's why they're constantly passing the plate around. Sometimes they'll do it 2 or 3 times during service, and they're not giving you the word of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. They're giving you Christianity, which is a doctrine of devils. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and you that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is coming down, having great wrath. That's talking about to the sinners that don't want to repent, to the 2/3 that don't want to repent. They just want to keep worshiping Esau and his system, his power structure. Because that's what it is to worship the beast and his image, to worship his power structure, to worship your captor, rather than worship the Most High. And that's what our people love doing. They have gotten so used to, even with me holding this, this thing still falls down. Like I said, I just probably need a harder wood platform, but I just don't have the money as of yet to do that. Maybe I could try to find some sort of old door or something to, nail it on. But anyhow, for the devil's come down having great wrath, because he knoweth that his time is short. So Esau's only got a shorter time to rule, so he's going to rule out martial law and pretty much going to shut down the government again. You can best believe that, if you already seen what he could do with a temporary shutdown, you know that he's planning for a longer shutdown. And he's not planning to resume the government this next time. It's a teeter-totter effect, because he wants to crash the entire economy. Because he wants to get everyone on them chips, that you can't buy, sell, or trade, and they own everything. And then when you get out of line, they just turn your chip off. But most of all, you take that mark of the beast, that RFID, then pretty much, you're fucked anyways, because the thermonuclear missiles, and by way of them chariots, this place will be destroyed in 1 hour. And when the dragon saw that he was cast unto the earth, he persecuted the woman, that is the Israelites, as you see, we're on the news now, which brought forth the man-child, which pretty much we prophesy Yahweh Shai. We're not prophesying about Corpus Christos. We're not prophesying about the God of money. No. We're prophesying about the return of Yahweh Shai, Hamashiach, and pretty much the return of the 12 tribes, the 144,000. And to the woman were given 2 wings of a great eagle, that she might fly into the wilderness. And that's what happened when a good portion of us was over here. The northern kingdom was over here, and we were over here.